Driving in the Rain, a short film from Keeper Studios. Driving in the Rain, May 29, 1989. Driving in the rain is not a lot of fun for me, even though it's a common occurrence. In fact, I downright hate the thought, especially when it's dark. More than usual, the life of the driver is on the line. That scares me. I don't like to be scared of a common occurrence. Whatever the case, there comes a time when you have to confront those situations which scare you. It's like bridges and heights. I hate them too. Look, I know it's silly, but I really do have this little fear of driving in the rain. Who knows? Maybe it's because the only accident I've ever had was in the rain. Of course, it's always bothered me when I was little and someone else was driving too. Living in the area I live in, Seattle, Washington, there's a lot of rain. Yet, there are times when I'm behind the wheel in the rain and I don't feel as if I am in control of my automobile. The scene in front of me is almost like a simulator, and I'm just going through the motions, but I'm not really there. Then poof, I snap out of it. I realized I haven't heard a word spoken, and I don't know what station is playing. The world simply existed, went on its merry way, and brought me back into it from wherever I was a split second earlier. Yet, while all of this is happening, I'm steering, braking, and reacting to the other cars on the road, but I have no idea what has really been going on. One particular night comes to mind, when I think about my fears, and it seems as if flashbacks to this moment is what happens to me. Flashbacks may sound odd, but I'm not a druggie, so bear with me. In this instance, it only seems that way. I was driving my 72 Vega on Aurora Avenue with my buddy Gary. It was raining, dark, and downright dreary that night. The music wasn't on loud, as it usually was, and Gary was trying to tell me something. Well, Gary noticed that quite often I would really focus on what I was doing while driving and blank everything else out. He could call me names and I would not hear him. I really think that this bothered him at times. On this night in particular, however, it seemed to be worse. My car was a low-riding little junker, which I loved dearly. It felt that night that if I reached down, I could not just touch my floorboards. It felt as if I could reach down and grab the pavement. There was nothing but a cage that I was driving. I felt naked and unprotected. Vulnerability is not a good feeling, but that is what I felt. The rain and the wind were not touching me, but I felt as if I was outdoors, not inside the safe confines of my little car. The next stoplight neared, and I eased into the brakes. As I came to a stop, I realized Gary was looking at me very oddly. I cannot remember his precise words, but I know he asked me if I was all right. I knew that I wasn't all right, but I didn't know what to say. I told him something of how I was feeling, and that I was somewhat scared. It's doubtful that he believed me, but I don't really care. I was scared, literally frightened, and I did not want to be behind the wheel anymore. The light turned green. The car in front of me began to creep forward. Fortunately, it was not moving fast. I checked the rearview mirror. Nobody behind me. I paused, caught my breath, and eased my foot onto the accelerator. As the car began to move on, the feeling continued to fade. The last couple of miles home, the drive went without complication. Now, 5 or 6 years later, I still get that feeling of separation from my vehicle. The feeling I get brings me back to that moment in my Vega. I feel as if I am back in time and driving in a different location, a different vehicle, and in different conditions. A real-life, wide-awake dream. I live it behind the wheel. I don't want it to ever happen again. It's night. It's raining right now, and I just got in from a short drive. I didn't get the feeling this time, but I got the memory. I don't want to feel that way anymore. Although, do I really have any choice? Can I allow a fear of driving in the rain to keep me from living my life? No, I can't. Every time I get in the car under wet and dark conditions, I know I could face that feeling again. I don't want to feel that way anymore. Unfortunately, there's no choice. I have to drive. If I don't drive, considering how much it rains, it means that some small fear is winning over me, and I'm losing. I will not lose. Still, I don't want to feel that way anymore. Driving in the Rain, originally published 1989 in Odd Thoughts, Midnight Ramblings, and Summer Dreams, and reprinted April 1995 in the Silver Valley Voice.